Hey, welcome everybody. So if you're on Facebook, let us know where you're logging in from. Chat with us. Let us know what your success is. Type it into the comments on Facebook. I see we already have some comments coming in from our Zoom participants. Sue Ann is down 3.5 pounds. Elizabeth, 3 more pounds this week, she said. Brian is down 4 more. Dawn is down 8 pounds and 2.5 inches. So these are from our Zoom participants. Aaron is down 14.8 pounds and 7.5 inches overall since the start. So we're having people comment in their successes. We just love it. Thank you so much for being here on our Wednesday weigh-in and measurements of success. Now, we do understand there's some of you that are not here to lose weight. Maybe you're here to build some muscle, maybe actually increase the inches, right? Maybe you're here because you just want to be healthier, in which case measurements of success are you're feeling better, you're looking better, your skin's better, your sleep is better, your energy is more level throughout the day, you're able to do more push-ups or more sit-ups, or you don't have the 3 o'clock need a nap feeling. All of those are amazing and perfect measurements of success. So please share those as well. We want to hear about how you're doing. So with that said, you guys can see we have some special guests on the line with us, and it's very exciting to have them here. Again, we're finding you guys through the hashtag. So when you post on Instagram or Facebook and you use hashtag 28 days of weight loss, we're finding you so that we can chat with you, we can invite you on the Zoom, we can cheer you on. And so we appreciate you guys letting us know how you're doing in your journey. And those of you who are committed to the contest, you're posting something about your journey on a daily basis, just letting us know. Maybe you can do a throwback post, but as long as you're posting with the hashtag, you qualify with the contest, as well as you can find all the contest rules on our TLS blog. Cash prizes, you guys, cash prizes. Courtesy of Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. So with that said, let's get to our special guests here for them to share live with us their successes so far. So we're going to start with Michelle. She's here hailing in from, get this, you guys, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Michelle is, going to share with us what her success so far in starting with TLS.
Yeah, hey guys, it is so good to be on here. I am so excited. Starting January 1st, I started the TLS program, and it has been such a great experience, really. I've tried different other programs, but this one has been almost the top one, almost. It ain't almost, it is the top one. And since January, I have lost 12 pounds and 5 inches.
Wow.
And I am like, get on the scale. And then tonight at church, we have a youth at night, and people were coming up, how much weight have you already lost? I can tell you've lost weight. And I haven't, and some of them not even on Facebook or anything, and it's so fun. And my kids have really enjoyed cooking with me, and we've been having such a good time with it. And it's funny how we were walking around and my kids are like, you're eating again? I was like, yeah. Because I have to, because they're not used to me eating, because that was my problem. I wasn't eating. And now that I'm eating breakfast, snack, and having fun with it. And one of my favorite snacks is the TLS Shake Vanilla, where you add frozen strawberries. And it's like, right, real quick, when they're frozen, they're already good. And it's like a strawberry ice cream, and it's so good. And then one of my challenges that I had was the drinking water. I hate water. I really do. But I have come up with my daughter. She loves water. She drinks water all the time. So she said, Mom, just do this. So I found this cup, and I've cut up lemons and lime. And Melanie had said the other night about mint. So I added a little mint in it, and it just made the taste so much better. And now I carry my water everywhere. And because that's why I'm constantly getting my water in, and it's so good. And my daughter's like, I'm so proud of you for doing this. So I've got a lot of great support, and thanks to Dennis, because he don't do excuses. So that's one thing I liked about it. No excuse. So yeah, we've had fun. We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Thank you for
That's
sharing,
awesome.
Michelle.
We're
That
so
is
proud of you.
excellent.
I do want to say one thing about Michelle. She checks in every day. We talk. She's been so positive and she's attacking this whole new year. And she truly is going to be a new you. I'm very proud of you. Let's keep it up,
Thank you.
girl.
Thank you.
Love it. All right. So let's go to someone who's with us all the way from Singapore.
Yay, Maggie.
So Maggie has been posting so consistently about her journey with TLS, with using the hashtag, and I was like, "Girl, you're crushing it! You got to be on our Zoom." And she was nice enough to make it work even with the time change. So Maggie, what's been your success so far?
Maggie.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, guys. So glad that I have a chance to share how I do it. Oh, I started on the first day of 2021. So today is 14 in Singapore. So it's almost 2 weeks now. So in fact, it works every time for me for the detox. So this time it's the same, but I share my challenge first. This is my first time doing my detox during my period. It was really a challenge. So tired for the whole period, and there's no caffeine. So I felt much better after I started the second week. And I did a measurement just this morning. So my body fat down and my muscle keep going up. So it's much better than where I started. So this is so far I'm very happy with, and it's my first time doing the sure and steady menu after the detox. And I did not expect that it works for me so well. Thank you.
Oh, excellent.
Awesome.
Maggie, all right.
Welcome, Maggie. She's been really consistent with her exercise as well, and has been posting about her exercise, and you can see her muscles. So you can see the muscle definition. I was so impressed with her.
Oh.
So way to go, Maggie. Thanks for being a part of this.
And we all know that muscle dictates metabolism.
Yay,
Hi,
that's right,
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yes.
So
Andrew.
the muscle mass helps her, to increase her metabolism. This one, did you know that?
Yep.
Yep.
Guys, time to show off.
Great job, Maggie. Congratulations. Your
Great
success so
job,
far.
Maggie.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Next up, we have Maliva, and Maliva is coming to us from Pennsylvania. Let us know what you got going on, girl.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. This is actually my second time with TLS. I originally lost 45 pounds with the system 7 years ago, and it felt great. So I decided, my husband and I are trying, we're really looking to start a family, and I just wanted to create the healthiest home for baby that I possibly could. And so I was really excited about this new campaign. I'm 8 days in. I've lost 8 pounds as of this morning and 3¼ inches, which is like, I'm so thrilled because, sometimes we forget what the good stuff is, and what works for us. And so this has really allowed me to just hit the refresh button, start with TLS from square one, using the journal, kind of pretending I didn't know anything and becoming a student of the system. And I feel amazing. My energy's up. I used to have a lot of intestinal discomfort. I don't have any. My mood is better. Even things that used to bother me, or just even driving, I have a lot less road rage because I'm just, I'm happier. I feel incredible. And it's great to just see that working. One of my favorite snacks, I love what Michelle said about the vanilla TLS shake. It's also really good with frozen tropical fruit, papaya and stuff, like a tropical sorbet, delicious. I also love using cauliflower rice to make fried rice. Yeah. And you can use spinach and low sodium soy sauce and spices to just really get that yummy Chinese food without wrecking, your goals. The biggest challenge for me, I think, was overcoming my calendar. I was just not a good planner. I just wasn't. And I would never prioritize the time to plan meals, figure out what I wanted, make sure I had proper protein. And so that was the big thing for me, to just really give myself permission to focus on myself and my family and plan those things so that when I'm going for a snack, I'm not trying to figure out, what I can have, but it's already prepared in the fridge for me. I can have my celery or carrots and hummus, or I can have my fruit. And that's just been like really helpful for me on this journey and succeeding. I feel incredible.
That's excellent.
That's awesome.
Maliva, I do want to ask you something there. 7 years ago, you lost 45 pounds on the Transitions Lifestyle System. Can I ask you, between 7 years ago and today, have you kept any of that weight off, or have you gained it back?
No, I actually kept 30 pounds off.
Yes, beautiful.
Slowly started. I got married and got the happy fats a little bit. So now we're working the rest of that off.
Well, that's great. I don't know if people that are on tonight understand that 95% of the people that lose weight within 3 years gain it back, and usually a little bit more. So to be able to maintain 30 pounds plus, that's pretty awesome. And I'm sure now you're on track that you'll get that off, and you're going to be awesome going into this growth of your family.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Hey, okay, so next up from New York, we have Mr. Sam Lin, Sam the Man, MMA, kickboxing, CrossFit, he owns a gym. I mean, this guy he is crushing the TLS lifestyle, but also committed to his 28 days. Because of course, whenever we're healthy, we always want to take it to the next level. How much healthier or stronger can we get? So Sam, why don't you share with us?
Hi, thanks Melanie to having me here. I'm very happy to be here with everyone. And definitely TLS, I love it. I started like 10 years ago with TLS program since I want to become a trainer. And 10 years ago, I weighed 185 pounds. And within 6 months with TLS program, I dropped 30 pounds and 27% body fat. And I kept it off till today. So not just me, not just me. So many of my partners and my gym clients, they got amazing results. And when company announced 28 days challenge, I was so happy. Since my goal is not to lose fat, I want to gain 1 pound muscle and also drop my body fat right now is 16%. So I want to drop to 13%. So
Wow.
it's like bulking and cutting at the same time. It's not easy, but TLS lifestyle and low GI eating definitely is great for bulking and cutting. So I'm so happy with the program, and definitely with one thing that I overcome the most is since the pandemic, it's being very busy. Since most of my gym, my CrossFit gym and MMA gym training on Zoom, and also my toolkit and also 5-year-old Zoom school, and also Montgomery got Zoom training. So every day is like packed schedule. So but I still train myself exercise about 6 days a week, either in the morning or nighttime after 10 p.m. But everybody can achieve their goal.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Sam.
Amazing. Amen.
Congratulations, Sam.
Absolutely. Absolutely fantastic. We're cheering you on. Can't wait to see the pictures of the 13% body. Good birthday present. So
We all want to see those pictures is what she's saying.
This is the abs.
That's right. That's right. It's motivating. All right. So I think we have, last but not least, all of our very dear friends. We have Big Al and Deborah on the line from Maryland. Woo! Let's go. Share with us, you guys. Can't wait to hear.
Well, we talked about doing this challenge together. I didn't want to do it myself. And so we Debbie and I kind of roll together. We roll off each other in a different way. And so I just wanted to do a detox. I was just in it for the detox. 7 days. I figure I could, give up Coronas for 7 days. But, then I got to thinking, you know what, I'm committed 7. Why not, 21 more? And so it's been 2.5 weeks. I've lost 11 pounds. I feel great. I sleep better at night. And it was tough, man. You know, when you're used to watching ball games and having a cold one.
When you're used to having a beer every night.
Okay, well, that too.
Yeah.
But, you know, so that was the biggest thing. But I think my favorite snack right now is the shake. I do like to shake and blend it in different things. And Debbie has been a plus with other ways that she's participated with this too.
Yeah, I'm just kind of along for the ride. No, I appreciate everything that TLS has to offer us online. I have gotten every recipe. I've printed out the whole book, and I did my profile. I'm doing the fat shredder. Not that I really need it, but I just I do feel better. I've noticed I have not measured, I've not weighed, I've not done any of that. I do feel though that my clothing is fitting a lot better. I can tell a difference in how my clothes fit. But I am Alan's support. This is just I got to keep him going. He's done very well. He's stayed off the corona, which is amazing to me and makes me feel a lot better. Yeah, that's a big plus here for him. But I've got a meal prep. I've got to, you know, go along with the recipes. I think it's interesting too, though, the recipes that are in the TLS diet are so tasty. You don't know that you're missing anything. You know, you don't know that you're not eating what you really eating. Although I have to admit, the first week when we were doing our 7-day detox, I was like a junkie needing a fix because I am such a carb addict that I needed something crunchy, salty, something. And that a couple of days were really irritable. I was very irritable. I was not good.
Yes.
Not uncommon, Deborah, for a detox.
It
For
was
sure.
hard.
And you're definitely on the right Zoom because we're actually going to be talking about carb cravers and what
Oh,
to do.
good. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on the right Zoom. I'm gonna talk about, I think that's amazing. And Big Al, I think the reason why you haven't sent me any text messages this last 14 days is because you've been off the corona.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know, that
I haven't gotten any text messages, so it could be why.
Yeah, now,
No.
when it says Corona, we talk about the Corona beer. Make sure everybody understands.
But what,
Yeah.
I'm just
you
saying.
think we're thinking about the
Well,
COVID?
you said it
We're not
corona.
thinking about the
Oh,
corona.
no, not the virus.
Yeah,
No,
no.
we know we're not talking about the virus. No, we're talking about the corona.
I see. Gotta be.
Well,
Any
that's
rate, I'm really proud of you guys. And you know, I've had my own success. I'm 10.5 pounds in today, 10.5 pounds.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'm definitely, I told Andrew, because we had a great workout today. And I think for me, I agree with Debbie. I feel like, you know, it's a real challenge when you're a carb lover, but I want to tell everybody this. If you stuck with the program, you should have noticed that after the first 5 days, those cravings really start to go away.
Mhm.
And the supplements really help suppress the desire to want to have carbs or sugar. And I really will not stop talking about the product that I own, and we've had all these years and I haven't used myself, that until now, that really has caused me not to eat carbs at all. And Andrew
You know
can
why?
attest.
You know why?
Yeah, you can tell everybody
You know
that.
why? And I, you know, it's not so much that you're battling the craving anymore.
Right.
You're battling biology.
Thanks, Andrew. Any rate, my point is, have you seen me eat every day? Because we usually have lunch and dinner together, and we haven't had lunch because I've been having my shake, which
However, I do have lunch. But yeah, but you have done very well.
and you see me have dinner every night. You have dinner with me every night.
Correct.
Tonight I had a great egg omelet. Felt very good about it. I love eggs, and I do a lot of egg white omelets because, you know, I'm trying to eat better than just having the yellow and worry about cholesterol. But the most important thing you can do is when you realize that supplements are more than our friends. They're your best friends in this process. And I'm sure that we're going to talk about them a little bit tonight, but I just wanted to tell you that if you stick with the program and you take the supplements and you use the shakes, the cravings will go away much faster. Because I, like Debbie, the first 2 days, I think it was really miserable, but I'm not sure if it wasn't mental, because the supplements really help that much. So you're so used to having pasta and bread and bagels, and for me, cereal, and, you know.
Well, you're using the alternatives.
Yeah. Well,
Using
there's
that-
not a
that's-
lot of alternatives for pasta, but we're doing the best we can, right? So we're having some quinoa. We're not, but I'm not even going for even a lot of grains right now. I've been doing a lot of, you know, ground turkey, a lot of ground turkey, and making it with like spicy, so I can have like it on top of lettuce and tomato, and making, I've been having, I kind of get with something and I fall in love with it. So I'll have like a taco salad either every night or an egg omelet, and I'm thrilled. And I've never been like that. I normally have to have some pasta, some potato, some bread, some rice. And it's really amazing. So if you really stick with the program, and the supplements will help you succeed.
Because you're balancing your digestive biome as a result of this process as well.
Andrew's really trying to sound very intelligent tonight. I'm very impressed. The point is, if you plan and you prioritize, like I talked about, I do not think anyone in life can succeed without planning and prioritize. I talk about this all the time when I speak. You must plan. You must prioritize. You must prepare. And once you do all three of those things, you can prepare to see the pounds drop. Right? So plan, prepare, prioritize, and prepare, and then you can plan to see those pounds drop off. And I really do think that you will succeed at this. I really feel like I was watching people on Facebook and Instagram, looking at people like Dawn and Lisa Martin posting their recipes, and Jackie Blasco posting their recipes. And you know, it's mouthwatering what you can actually eat on the TLS program. So you really just have to stick with it and not quit it. And I'm actually embarrassed and ashamed that I haven't even taken these supplements really until now, because I think I just enjoyed my food so much. But the good news is, when I get to my goal weight, which I don't even think that'll be that far away, but when I get to my goal weight, which I still have at least another 15 pounds to go, and I'm going to do before and after pictures. I already took the before picture, so we're waiting for the big after. I may do it in between, we'll see. But it's getting so good that I've actually put a lower dress size, pant size on it. I was buying a new tracksuit and I put on a smaller pant size. Those things will happen if you stick with it. You will see things happen that you haven't seen happen in a while. And it's extremely encouraging and motivating and makes you feel good. And you know, you don't need the whole world to impress. You got a whole group right here that's going to listen to you and work with you and talk with you, because we're all in this together. We know that whether you're trying to lose weight, put on weight, just be healthier. I honestly believe and can say with my whole heart that this is, I'm so proud of Dennis, because Dennis, you really pulled it together with all these incredible supplements, and they're just amazing. It makes the whole process that much easier.
Right on. Excellent.
Proud of you, Lauren. Very proud of you. I
Thanks,
can't
baby.
tell you how proud I am. And by the way, we knew the first 2 or 3 days were tough because everyone heard from you.
Yes. Yes. And when you hear from me, you know I'm struggling. And when you know I'm going at it, like Andrew, he keeps saying to me every time he sees me, he's like, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, you
I can't tell you.
It's
Right.
easy.
Love it.
Great.
Well, Dennis, you had a success this week. Why don't you share with us your success?
You know, I have. You know, I came into this with a goal of taking off what I put on during this last 7 or 8 months. And I'm 4 pounds down, which is great. And I'm continuing my daily workouts. It's something I start my day with. But as Lauren has said, the supplements have been really strong. The shakes are my favorite. I really mix them up between frozen blueberries and strawberries and, you know, the chocolate. And I love with the frozen banana. And they got this great little peanut butter powder you can put on there without all the fat in it. It's so good. So you get really good at that. But I think the best thing about this whole thing was this past week was getting through this great football weekend, 6 pro games and the national game on Monday. Now, for those of you that don't follow football, that's okay. But for those that do, you understand that, you know, when you're watching the game and you want to sip on your ice water and you want to, right, Al, we got to sip on the ice water, and you're pulling out the hummus and getting those vegetables going, you know. But the bottom line was I was able to get through it, lose a pound, and continue to go. And what I love most about this is that feeling accountable to all of you. And, you know, Lauren hit on this when we started out. I'm just going to tell you, this community cares, And, you know, to hear from Sam going down to 16% body fat, and hearing Michelle, you know, I'm so proud of you getting over things that you needed to get through, and you're going to be a superstar. And Maggie in Singapore, Lord, Maleva, it's been awesome. So my success is being with you, continuing my journey. And I think my journey will last the rest of my life because, you know, I'm a recovering fat man.
Well, I love you.
Dennis.
You look hot. You look hot.
That's awesome, Dennis. So you're halfway to your goal. We're only 2
Yes.
weeks in. We're 13 days in if you're in the US. And Dennis, you're halfway to your goal. That's phenomenal. So Zan, what was your success for the week?
Well, as everyone know that I was saying I'm like Al, it's really trying to fix my sleep. But what's interesting is as I'm trying to fix my sleep to sleep earlier and earlier, I definitely noticed in the afternoon, it went in a breeze and my energy level was so much more consistent. Usually in the afternoon, I would feel like I wanted something. I wasn't hungry, but I think I was feeling a bit tired and I need something to pick me up. And I would be going down to the kitchen and look for things. And I was like TLS friendly, but at the same time, that urge to want some to like, and obviously, you know, when you have kids at home, they're not always the TLS friendliest choices. You need to have a balance. And I want to go to their pile. I said, nope. But now, since I was able to get in the sleep, I didn't have to go downstairs. My immunity makes me very happy, and it was great. I was quite surprised. You know, a lot of people said you have to fight the urges, and yes, the supplement works really well. And when you can combine with proper sleep, you will be so amazed how your body responds. You don't even need to fight the urge. There's no urge. You felt amazing, and that's what I love about it. And I noticed that I'm a lot less moody because my husband never comment anything. And when my kids come and interrupt me because homeschooling, I was like, yes, dear, how can I help you? Whereas in the past was like, I am in a meeting. What are you coming in? So I think they are happier because mom is happier and everyone's happier.
That's great. I love that.
Yay for sleep. I love sleep. All right, we got 2 more. Dr. D, well, actually, if you include me. D, you're up next.
So, you know, I have a goal to get stronger, a lot like Sam. I want to improve my muscle mass, see my weight or my body fat percentage go down. But I want to share actually somebody else's win. I got an incredible letter from someone that has been following the 28 days of skin and then went forward and did the 28 days of healthy living. And now is doing 28 days of weight loss. And she wrote me a letter to say just how impactful this kind of community has been for her. You know, she says that she's tried to write this letter more than once, but just can't find the right words. And those words come and she gets teary-eyed because she's seeing so much like health in her life. And, you know, of course, I end up reading this thing and I'm the one getting teary-eyed because she's 50 pounds down since she started following a healthy lifestyle. You know, she goes out regardless of the weather and it's very cold where she lives right now. And she goes out, she's like wearing her like college kid, his coats because she didn't have any, because otherwise she would just pull the covers up over her face and not do anything. And so she actually wrote a very heartfelt thank you for just the inspiration that's all of us coming together as a community. You know, everything from the things we've said that community builds immunity. You know, we're more powerful in a community to check in with your community. And my big win this week was getting that letter and just reminding myself the impact that we are all making in other people's lives. It was a fantastic letter to get.
So true.
Wow.
Powerful.
Wow. Absolutely. That's excellent. Andrew, what was your success for the week?
Well, my, as you know, I committed to learning something each week, which I feel like is a success each week now. And because from a health and wellness standpoint, as Lauren will tell you, I'm very consistent with my eating habits, my exercise, and my diet. So, however, what I learned, and I got to tell you, Melanie, your Facebook Live tutorials, about 15-minute sessions are extremely valuable. So I want to encourage everybody to tune in on Mondays, right? That's when
11 o'clock.
So Zan is on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm on Tuesday and Friday.
Okay, so I watched the Tuesday one. The record, I mean, of course, it's recorded and it's made available. So what I learned, and I mentioned a couple of things earlier when you were speaking, and the other testimonials were happening about cravings and the fact that you're really battling biology, right? And the three major things that Melanie taught that I learned was the imbalance in your digestive biome, the bad bacteria that we're feeding and supporting, right?
Can you elaborate that a little bit more for me?
No, that's not why you wanted me to say
No,
it again.
I just wanted you to elaborate.
Well, I'll elaborate later, just for the interest of time.
That's okay. I
just for the
got it.
interest
I
of
got
time.
you. I got you.
And the-
Interest of time.
yeah, thanks. That
Of course,
includes-
Deidre.
Yeah, and then the leptin insensitivity. So we
Right.
always are not feeling full as a result. Okay,
Which is
that's a
big
little bit
one.
of a
That's a little bit of
more there for you. And the other thing was the dopamine that is enhanced. So you instead of serotonin, right? So what by
Yeah,
and
so
that-
when you
all
eat-
this affected, right? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
when you eat sugar or dairy or alcohol or other foods we all love, right? It actually, you get a little hit of dopamine, which is a very temporary,
Temporary.
what the body's temporary happy drug. And so it makes you want more, which is why you go for another chip or another chocolate or another cookie because you want another hit of dopamine. It's why you can't eat one slice of cheese, right? And so you're fighting that biology, but a healthy lifestyle creates serotonin, which is the long lasting happy drug in our body. And it takes a little bit of time to balance that out. And so you got to commit, which is why Maliva is like, I'm happier. And so Zan's like, I'm happier, right? Because we've got more serotonin flowing in the body than just these temporary hits of dopamine. Every time you get a text message, dopamine, right? It's just these little things that create addiction. If it's a strong word, but it is it's something we go to. And so those are the three things that you're battling when you have cravings. It could be any one of those three, or it can be like emotional or boredom or, whatever. We all had that, right? I didn't mention that one because that's just kind of given. But Andrew, thanks for watching. And thanks for
But also just as far as the alternatives to what you would normally eat that do feed those bad bacteria, the dopamine, right? And the leptin insensitivity. So all the alternatives are actually that you gave in your tutorial actually sounded really good, sounded delicious, a lot of these different things. So anyway, hence
wow, I'm proud of you. That's
this aspect of TLS is it's simple. Most people don't realize what the challenges are, but when you make these slight adjustments, it makes such a big result,
It's a big result. Very, very good, Andrew.
So
Very
that was
good.
my
Very proud of you.
success. Thanks for helping me with that, Melanie.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, I'm here to help. I love teaching. It's my favorite thing in the world. So, hey, my success, and I don't put myself on the scale every week. I do it every 2 weeks, and I measure every 4 when I'm trying to reach a goal. So I got on the scale this morning, and I was really hesitant to do so, but I've lost 4.4 pounds. So I was very excited about that. It made me feel like $1 million. It was like the best birthday present I could give myself. Because I'm like now this close to my goal. I really am skeptical that I'll see more loss on the scale, but I will see loss in inches. So that's what I'll probably be reporting on in the future. So I'm really excited to lose a little bit of that COVID fluff. And now moving forward, like Sam said, do some cutting. So really, really pumped, you guys.
The workout's so important for the process because it really does speed it up. It's like compounds it. You know what I mean? It's like when you have an organization in our business, right? And everybody's doing something and everybody's hitting BV and it compounds up. That's what happens. And so if you work out and just do a little bit, right? Do a little bit. Like we do a lot of cross training, I guess you call it, right?
Yes, cross and circuit training.
Yeah, circuit training. So it's really challenging. So I hate the treadmill. It's the most boring thing on the planet. But if we run like 2 minutes each at full speed, and then we'll get off, and then we'll go to the weights, then we'll get back on and run 2 minutes.
Sure.
and rotate around the room. And we have a full circuit basically for an hour and you're exhausted. But if you just put a little bit of effort in, I mean, both of us pretty much can't walk, but in a good way. It feels good, right? Because you're doing it for yourself and you know it's going to make a difference. So these are the things that we talk about, doing things for yourself first, putting
Right,
yourself
it's
first.
that metabolic stimulus you're getting with that exercise. You get those extra burn going on through the day. And it's
Feels
really
good. And it feels good to do things for yourself.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. I'm reading some of the chats as they're coming in. I love everybody's participation. Keep it coming. So I want to say thank you so much to our 5 special guests who are on with us tonight, who took some time to share with the whole community their successes. So, and then we're going to get into some product info with Dennis and Dee and Suzanne. So you guys, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you guys for joining us.
See ya.
Awesome. All right. So
Great
up
job. What a great
next,
job.
we have Mr. Dennis Franks. He's
Hey.
going to be talking about what to do when you're a carb lover. And so take it away, Dennis.
Yeah, thanks, Mal. You know, it was sort of fun when I sat down, when I saw my assignment to talk about the carb lover. I just felt my whole success in my life was education. So I just wanted to take a quick review that everybody understood that, you know, carbohydrates is a macronutrient and there's 3 types: a sugar, a starch, and a fiber. By rights, depending on who you follow, you're going to have 45 to 65% of your total daily calories from carbs. If you're thinking about a 2,000 calorie day, we're talking somewhere between 900 and maybe 1,400 calories in carbs, or between 230 to 250 grams of carbohydrate a day. Now that's risky when I say that, because I'm looking at my partner Suzanne, who is a trained professional at these kind of things. But how do I know if you're a carb lover? Well, let me just read off a few things: pasta, rice, bread, rolls, bagels, crackers, cereals, baked goods, cakes, cookies, pie, candy, donuts, fruit juice, jelly, jam, hell, ketchup, and barbecue sauce. If you love all that, you are a carb lover.
Come on, Nick. Come on, dog. Yeah, baby.
And you know what? The other thing is that, you know, a simple, innocent English muffin is 30 grams of carbs. Man, that's like, really, you really want to, you know, spend it right there. And, you know, that cup of cooked pasta, we're talking 45 grams in just a cup. To me, like when I first started years ago, I went to Weight Watchers and they showed me a cup of cooked pasta. I thought it was like 3 noodles. I said, this is like torture. You're giving me a cup of freaking noodles? That's not even an appetizer for me, you know, golly. But, you know, let me help. And I want to extend what Lauren was saying about psychic hunger versus physical hunger. You know, when there are really habits that you're looking at and you're used to having your ice cream, or you're used to having your sweet treat later after dinner or whatever, you can help yourself. And I want to just mention why we take a multivitamin and why I love the Isotonics multivitamin. Even if you're eating great fruits, great vegetables, it's literally impossible to get the full spectrum of nutrients that you need. I'm just telling you that. And you know, my dear friend Dr. D says it used to be a luxury. Now it's something that we should all do no matter what. It's mandatory. If you're looking for more protein in your life, you can't beat this shake. And if you've never tracked 25 to 30 grams of fiber, it's tough getting that much fiber daily, but every shake you're getting 10 grams of fiber. And, you know, I don't know about you. I talk to people when I help them in weight loss where they go to the bathroom maybe once every 3 days. And it's just like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm so sorry. We've got to get that straightened out right away. And usually it's more water and more fiber, you know, it's more choices. And again, that falls back to that education. And the other thing that I love about controlling carbs, if you're a carb lover, I love the Trim Tea because it is very good in the way that it helps give you a full feeling, makes you think you're full, a mental approach to that, but it also kicks lipolysis, which is the burning of fat. It's sort of like getting on that motorcycle and hitting down on it to start up the engine. It's helping you get into that fat burning mode. But you know what I want to talk to specifically today is a product that I can't live without, and that's the Core. I know I'm not very good at putting my products up here, but the Core, for less than $2.50 a day, this product rocks the house.
Yep.
What a great investment for someone that is really trying to get in control of those carbs. And, you know, I want to talk specifically why. And the one thing that I want to say that in this product, there's a mineral called chromium, and chromium is just so important. Did you know that you have between 30 and 40 trillion cells in your body? And not one of those cells can take in the sugar or the glucose to be able to utilize for energy without chromium. The chromium is sort of like the bouncer at the door. Every one of these cells have receptors in which it has to be received so that the cell can actually get the energy in. And if that chromium's not at the door, you're not getting in. You know, chromium checks the ID and lets you through the door and utilizing it. So that's a really important thing. The other thing that I like about the Core is it slows down the unnecessary carbs from breaking down and getting into your blood. And that's the white kidney bean extract. And it's a powerful extract. We don't talk a whole lot about, nobody really, hey, can I tell you about white kidney bean extract? It's not one of those things you just bring up. But when your body is not utilizing the carbs, it's storing the carbs. So this slows it down. And so that effect that Lauren was saying is that you're not as hungry, you're not as craving of the carbs. That really helps because you've got a lot of fuel being stored up to give you more of that satisfying energy when you need it. And then you have what they call the LeptoCore. LeptoCore is a wonderful product or an ingredient that is in here to help make you more leptin sensitive. And you know, this is the crazy stuff in our bodies. You know, you would think that if you had good leptin levels and you were sensitive leptin, then you would basically be able to control hunger better. However, when you're overweight, and correct me if I'm wrong, Suzanne, Dr. D, and this is like, you know, doing a presentation in front of your professors, you know, when you're overweight, your fat basically puts off more inflammation that basically can block the pathways of leptin being sensitive. So it's that really war constantly going on. So it's important that we become more lean. As Andrew said earlier, muscle dictates metabolism. And as I said on my Tone Up Thursday last week, you know, muscle is energy, energy is life. And this is really important. And I love the fact that Sam and, you know, I still remember Mel, you know, that you were saying your goal is so you can see your abs again. You know, that's cool. I mean, that's, you know, it's great to be able to see that muscle tone. I will say this, nothing is more attractive to see a woman with great shoulders and awesome arms. I mean, that's just great. And, you know, you start thinking about the different things that we do in our lives and what we can do. If we can control those carbs, putting them in the right place at the right time, I think we're there. And it basically restores or reduces the stored fat. And it's been proven, science-based, that actually it will reduce the waist and hip areas. So I love that. And one other thing, it will help regulate your sugar levels better, which is great. And that's one of the issues we have with carbs. And also it'll help reduce your C-reactive protein, which is one of the things that throw things off in your body when you have too much.
Inflammation.
Yeah, I'm loving Core, recommending it. And here's the scoop. You don't have to take Core just for when you're trying to finding your fit. I've been using Core since we've introduced it. It's a great product. It does so many great things for you.
That's important, Dennis. I think that's important, Dennis. I think you should emphasize that people can continue to take it, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And you know what? In the long run, don't let cost be a challenge for you. Talk to the person that puts you on the transitions lifestyle and learn how you can get it for less.
Right.
Wow, that's powerful.
For sure.
That's
for
awesome
Well done.
information, Dennis, especially for people like me who are carbohydrate junkies and we're learning to come off of them. And I couldn't agree more. Core has been a lifesaver.
For
Amen.
sure. So core, we talked, thank you for mentioning the multivitamin again, Dennis, because of course in the beginning we encouraged everybody to be on either our daily essentials or at least our Isotonics multivitamin to create that foundation. And then we also suggested Trim Tea, which also works on leptin sensitivity, but in a different way than core does. And so if you are a carb lover, these two are like peas and carrots, peanut butter and jelly. These are
Batman and Robin.
what Batman and
Left hand
Robin.
and right hand.
Yeah, exactly. Like give yourself a high five.
Works so much better together.
Yeah. And so that's what we suggest for those carb lovers. Thank you, Dennis. That was phenomenal. I could tell you
Yeah.
prepared for that. Way to go. I loved it. Next up is Suzanne. She's going to be talking about our fat lovers. All right, Suzanne, take it away.
Okay, fat lover. So I felt I should start throwing all the fatty food. So let's talk about fatty food. So like the way Dennis always says, start off. If you prefer a ribeye over a filet mignon, you're a fat lover. But I would like to throw out that, a lot of people think that they're a carb lover, but they actually, in fact, a carb and fat lover. And the reason I'm saying that, think about it. Would you eat a plain white pasta or would you only eat that pasta if you have cheese on it and the sauce on it? Think about it. What is in that sauce? It's the fat. Think about, like our favorite mac and cheese. What makes mac and cheese so good? That creamy, fatty, ooey cheese, right? That's the fat. Think about your bread. Will you eat plain white toast? No, you want that slab of butter, melting on that slice of toast is the fat. So for those people who are carb lover, I have to say you are also a fat lover because they go hand in hand. Because pasta don't taste good unless you put that sauce, and bread doesn't taste as great until you put that fat in there. But either way is right now there's a lot of debate about fat because for the longest time people are so afraid about fat. So let's kind of break down fat very quickly. Then I talk about the not so good fat. So in fat, there's 3 types of fat. I call the bad, the good, and the ugly. So the good fats are the fat that we actually need. These are like we talk about avocado, we talk about olives. These are fat that actually lower our bad cholesterol, reduce inflammation. These are the fat that nourish our body. Our body actually needs fat. In the wintertime, if you don't get enough fat, you notice your skin, kind of wrinkle a little bit, a bit dry. You need that fat. Did you know that our hormones needs fat? So fat is actually good if you choose the right fat, right? Then we have the bad fat. This is your butter. Like my friends always say that I don't like Brussels sprout unless you make it with bacon. So the bacon fats, right? So these are what we call the ribeye and the tomahawk steak and the Wagyu beef, right? All these are what we call saturated fat, and these are bad fat because they are not the healthiest and they increases your bad cholesterol. But let's talk about the ugly fat. Do you know what are the ugly fat? These are your baked goods. This is your croissant. This is your tart. This is your pies, the things that your flakiness, the one that you can take one and you can stop. That that butter tart that you love to eat, that's the bad fat. And majority of us love the bad fat. People don't have problem when they eat good fat. But of course, a lot of people, when we say fat lover, they're not the one that love avocado and olives. They're the one that love the baked goods. The baked goods is the problem. Guess what? The baked good is a combination of carbs and fat. That's why you're both, right? When you think about it. So our goal is not, so when you love that kind of food that I just talked about, what can we do? So there are actually 2 supplements to help you. But let's talk about if you were to eat healthy fat, we often say you are what you eat. But I need to add one more thing. You are not just what you eat, you are what you absorb. So if you're not absorbing the food, you're not absorbing the nutrient, it's wasteful. So that you know that if your body is not absorbing fat properly, you actually cannot absorb fat soluble vitamin. Do you know what are the fat soluble vitamin? Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. And when we have winter, you need your vitamin D. So here you are taking your vitamin D and you might not be absorbing completely because you're not absorbing fat. Therefore, we need something to help you out. Here it is. So this is our digested enzyme. It came in two form, right? You can run the bottle or you can get these packets. And what makes them really, really great is the fact that it has 7 different enzymes in there. And these enzymes has one of them is called lipase. It breaks down fat. So that and ensure that when you even eat healthy fat, you're able to break it down, absorb it properly so that when you're eating your salad, you're able to absorb that vitamin K that is in that salad. So you're not wasting that salad that you're eating. So that's why it is very important, whether you're eating well or not eating well, because you want to absorb that, okay? Second thing is that when we're eating food, oh, you're making it already. We have a demo right here. So when you're eating food, think about it, is that we actually, in our body, we actually have the pancreas and the bile acid, the bile to make these actually what we call these lipase to help us break down the fat. But that is assuming that your pancreas and your bile work properly. And when you have a lot of inflammatory issues, they might not work properly and your body may not be secreting enough digestive enzyme to help you. And that's why when often you eat a very fatty meal, you feel absolutely exhausted and you actually feel so sluggish. And sometimes has nothing to do with the carb, but actually because you're not absorbing the fat and aren't able to break down the fat properly. And that's why this works so well, whether you want to lose weight or simply to maintain health, because you're what you eat, but you are what you absorb. Second, so I talk about people loving the ugly fat. When you eat food that has the ugly fat, they tend to be what we are higher in inflammatory fat. So when you eat food and these things, it increases your inflammation. And Dennis has said, you know, when you have a lot of leptin and you combine with inflammation, that combination makes leptin don't work very well. In fact, it makes a lot of things don't work very well. And that's why we want to lower that inflammation. So when you choose things that are baked good, they really have these inflammatory oil that makes your inflammation goes high. So we need to lower it. And one of the great things to lower it is our Heart Health Omega-3. And why so? It's because when we eat a lot of unhealthy fat, and some people say, well, challenge that, well, I don't eat the food that you're talking about. Why would I have the problem? Well, majority of us eat out and we eat processed food, or we eat a lot of what we call prepared food, even in restaurant food. They're very high in omega-6 oil. And when you eat omega-6 in small amount, they're fine. But when you eat such a high amount, it actually increases inflammation. Omega-3 and omega-6 need to be in a certain what we call ratio to create that balance. And the actual typical North American diet or American diet, the SAD diet, right? We call it the American diet. When you think about it, it's that they are actually typically it's 1:30 ratio. Do you know what is considered healthy? A very least is 1:4, but in better 1:2. And most people are 1:30 or 1:20. So if you are eating so much of the omega-6, you need this omega-3 to rebalance it. So a lot of people often ask me the question, how much do I need? My answer to you is, how much omega-6 do you eat? So the more omega-6 you have, the more omega-3 you need, so that you are actually reduce that ratio. So if you are typical American diets are 1:30, and you might be the 1:30 or 1:20, and you want to get to at least 1:4 ratio, think about the omega-3 you need. So the omega-3 plays such a big role in taming that inflammation, which we said, when you tame the inflammation, your body suddenly responds. Your symptoms are responding like your hormones are responding. Your hormones are finally listen to you and respond the way you want it. Secondly, that you know that having a healthy a balance also helps with protecting your heart. That's why this is a heart, you see the Heart Health brand? And people always think, oh, I have no heart issue. I don't need that. Wait a minute. Did you know that high cholesterol itself is not the only driven cause? It's the inflammation and the and the cholesterol issue combined makes it a huge issue. And that's why we have this as a heart health to remind you. That's why I love Transition Lifestyle System so much. It's not just talking about the weight loss or the fat loss. It really target your total health. We're talking about total health. When you have total health, you feel like you actually own the world. You feel like I conquer it and I can do anything. And that's exactly what we wanted to help you with. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Doing a Superman pose. I love it. I know when I lost my first 25 pounds, I literally would almost always strike the Superman pose just because I just felt like I was like, this is what it feels like to feel like $1 million, you know? And so I never felt that before. And that's pretty amazing. Total health is an incredible blessing. Dee, you are up next. Dr. D is going to tell us about stress eaters and what that means and what we can do about our stress eaters. So if you're on the line and you got a little bit of stress, listen up.
Well, I'll tell you what, who doesn't, right? I mean, stress is a very real thing. Every one of the people that shared their successes with us today talked about the role of stress, of making this decision, of the day-to-day wear and tear, the things that kind of pull them away from what they believe is going to be their success story. I mean, Melanie, you did a great job with your Facebook today, as Andrew mentioned, talking about that balance between dopamine and serotonin. And even maybe more importantly, is helping people that are stress eaters understand that it's more than just stress being a real thing. It goes by more than one name. Maybe you don't think you're a stress eater. So maybe understand that you might be a comfort food eater, right? That you might be bored eating, or that you are a mindless snacker. These also are all signs that there's something going on in the stress cascade that isn't functioning optimally, regardless of what we call it. It's a situation like Melanie talked about of low serotonin, and often it's low dopamine. And people are sometimes surprised to hear that. So I want to kind of get into that and unpack that a little bit. When serotonin is low, it leads to cravings because, as you mentioned, Melanie, it's a feel-good neural hormone. It's something that helps us feel calm, but it's also something that helps us feel happy, feel reward, right? And so we end up seeking it out. And you guys might be surprised to find out that serotonin, to cross the blood-brain barrier, requires carbohydrates, or certain antioxidants can help it do this as well. So it's no wonder that we reach for carbs when we're stressed, because, as you said, Melanie, we're kind of, we're built by the biology, and we're fighting biology when we try to go against this. And your physiology, your caveman DNA is telling you that you want to reach for a carbohydrate so you can get serotonin to your brain. You're literally seeking some level of balance, which means when your serotonin is low, your threshold for restraint is also low. Dopamine, when it's low and when it's high, we also see this kind of stress eating. We see this ravenous eating. We see this overeating. We also see extreme reward-seeking behavior. So I want you to know that dopamine needs to be in a sweet spot, just like your glucose and your insulin need to be in a sweet spot. Your serotonin needs to be in a sweet spot. And there's ways that we can do that with botanicals. There's ways that we can do that with protein supplementation. There's ways that we can do that with the adequate omegas that Suzanne's talking about, so that we don't have these low levels where there's also low clarity or a low level of restraint. When dopamine is low, you also don't feel motivated, right? You just feel like whatever. And you don't get after your exercise. You don't get after your routine. You don't get after anything. But the thing that surprises people is to find out that when dopamine is high, that they also can see some of this craving or reward or significant seeking out behavior. Because as you mentioned, Melanie, the things that cause dopamine reward, especially when it stays really high because you've been eating a high sugar diet, because you've been on some kind of a feeding frenzy that isn't adequate in fiber, is not adequate in protein, which is very good at kind of feeding reward behavior that we have. Protein's a fantastic way to deal with this. We end up when we're in these really high dopamine states, which is really, Lauren, why you can have some of your stress eating, because you're incredibly ambitious, you're very driven. But to keep a brain moving like that and always going, we have to have high levels of dopamine. So dopamine gets a bad rap because it is our ambition neurotransmitter. It is our drive neurotransmitter. It's the thing that makes us feel motivated to do things. But when it's high, your body wants to keep that high, a literal high. And so we seek out some of these craving foods in an effort to continue to still feel like we are on top of the world. So it's only an equilibrium between these two, serotonin and dopamine, that are going to balance the stress eater or the bored eater, because stress makes you wired for reward, right? So I want to teach you a couple other things that you can help identify what's going to be good for you. Women are more prone to this type of comfort food eating or stress eating than men are. We find in studies that women reach for food, men reach for alcohol. Men may also reach for cigarettes. So you want to identify what that concern is for you so that we can make steps to overcome it. While keeping snacks in your pantry is always a better way. You heard Maliva talk about the importance of healthy planning and really doing a good job with planning. Keeping good snacks in your pantry is essential to being a good stress, having a healthy stress response or a healthy stress eater response. But I'm going to tell you, it's not really where the activity takes place. Where the real action takes place is with sleep. Sleep is critically important for you to be able to manage your stress eating habits, for you to not wake up the next day and either throw in the towel or make poor judgments, right? So those that do not sleep well do not regulate their hormones well. So whether it's the leptin that Dennis is talking about, those that don't sleep well also do not manage their leptin well. That's why the Trim Tea is so powerful. Trim Tea does help us with leptin sensitivity, but it does it here in our brain. It allows your mind to feel full. Now, your mind doesn't really feel full, but it tells you, you know what, you're not craving that. You don't need to make that poor choice. We can keep doing what we're doing, but you are not leptin sensitive enough if you don't get a good night's sleep. So I'm a big fan of talking to people about enhancing their leptin sensitivity with Trim Tea, while also talking to them about changing their sleep habits, much like you're talking about doing, Suzanne, really getting healthy, because that's what's going to regulate not just eating hormones, but those stress hormones. Sleep is really important for us to manage stress hormones like cortisol that, Dennis, you had a chance to talk about last week. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about short-term stress. In fact, if you're in a short-term stress situation, you're not a chronic stress person, you're likely not eating enough. And you're going to need to think about, again, getting back to those healthy snacks, because your appetite is suppressed when stress hormones like epinephrine are high. Appetite goes down. When you're running away from a tiger, right? When you're in that flight or fight mode, you don't want to be worried about digestion. So we kind of turn off appetite. It's the chronic persistent stress person, right? It's the person that has that low level of persistent stress, maybe poor sleep, lack of exercise due to lack of motivation. These are the people I'm talking about, because these individuals are looking for some, we'll call it serious help, right? They want something stronger than just taking a deep breath, as powerful as that is. They need something more powerful than just planning better with better snacks in the pantry. They need adaptogenic botanicals. They need botanicals that can help us manage that stress response. They're called adaptogens because they help us adapt to stressful situations, to situations where we need more endurance. They help us adapt to the wear and tear of a very busy schedule. If you're that person that runs their life at a very high level, adaptogens help you adapt. One of the more special adaptogens is found in a product that we have called the TLS ACTS, ACTS. ACTS stands for adrenal, cortisol, thyroid, and stress. And so what we're getting there is a really powerful look at adrenal health, so that you have that savings account of the neurotransmitters that can help you fight a good fight, manage stress, make good decisions. That cortisol, botanicals that are in there that help us keep cortisol within a healthy range, so that we don't just not put on centimeters or millimeters around the middle or the hips, but that we also don't end up in a pro-inflammatory state or in a state that doesn't allow us to sleep. When cortisol is high, melatonin and sleep hormones are very low. So we need to make sure that we're doing something to manage cortisol throughout the day, to get a very good balance and wave of cortisol throughout the day. Thyroid, a lot of the reasons why men and women don't lose weight is due to hormone fluctuations with age, right? Or inactivity. And thyroid is that metabolic hormone that's critically important to perform, whether we're thinking about it for your sexual function, because I mentioned this last week. Sexual hormones or sex hormones interfere with thyroid and vice versa. So we want to make sure that our thyroid is on point so that we have healthy metabolic energy, but we also have healthy sexual energy, but we also send the right signals to ourselves to get a good night's sleep. So we want to pay attention to that entire balance. And then there's, of course, the adaptogens that help us with stress. A power-packed adaptogen in here called ashwagandha. Ashwagandha, we use a very special ashwagandha called Sensoril ashwagandha. It's clinically evidenced to help with endurance, again, to get through that day. Clinically evidenced to support you to keep your cortisol levels within healthy ranges. And here's the kicker. It also helps you keep your libido or sex hormones within healthy ranges. It's a very powerful adrenal and thyroid and gonad support botanical. So it's going to help you adapt in those areas. The fact that we use one with clinical evidence behind it makes it far more powerful than just going down to super intergalactic vitamin world and finding an ashwagandha supplement. The other thing that makes this product incredibly powerful for you is that ashwagandha is mixed with things like L-theanine. L-theanine is found in green tea. It's a relaxing amino acid that's responsible for a calming effect on the body and the brain. We put ashwagandha and L-theanine in this product. We put something called rhodiola rosea in this product, beneficial for insulin sensitivity, as well as calming the nervous system. Collectively, the botanicals that are in the ACTS formula, adrenal, cortisol, thyroid, and stress, are there not just to help you kind of put up your dukes and have the endurance to get through your day, not just the botanicals to help you calm yourself down in a stressful situation or get a good night's sleep, they're also there to help you repair metabolism. Other things that I want to point out that are really important for repairing your metabolism are not just the power hitters of adaptogens. They're also making sure that you have the building blocks for the same neurotransmitters, things like B vitamins, things like a magnesium supplement. These are necessary for you to literally create or synthesize serotonin and dopamine. Maximizing them is important, but here's what a lot of people don't know. Protein. Whey protein is the right amino acids. Pea protein is another great amino acid profile that helps you create more serotonin and more dopamine. So much like individuals are talking about stress hormones, or I feel like I might overeat, I might make the wrong decisions. Protein is one of the ways that you can kind of calm those cravings, but also create a reservoir or a pool of amino acids that help you create the stress hormones, the neurotransmitters, the building blocks that your body needs. Take it one day at a time. Please do not beat yourself up for any of your indiscretions. It's important that you don't spend, and I'm serious about this, don't spend any more time beating yourself up for a mistake than it took to eat your mistake. Okay? Now we're done. We did it and we're done. And we move on the next day, right? Plan for success, meal prepping, snack planning, identify those good snacks. I have my favorites. You probably have yours. Everyone on the team has theirs. If you need to, take it around the block, walk it off, but do not spend any more time doing damage than, like I said, than what it took to make that mistake. My most powerful message to you is to spend time reminding yourself that you're worthy, rewarding yourself for a decision to do good, and counting the things that you did do right, and not writing down or really focusing on the things that you didn't do right.
Wow, that's good.
So good. Love this fact. I was waiting for you, Dee, to go, holy basil.
You know what? Sometimes I do. I make a joke about, holy basil. That's the botanical the Pope takes. So, what do you want?
Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. I mean, I talk to you all the time, but every time I listen to you, she's even better. And I think that, you were talking to me. I know a lot of other people were listening, but I feel like, I did the 28-day, I created the whole 28-day weight loss, days of weight loss for myself. And a lot of people wanted to join it, but when I listen to you talk like that, and I listened to Suzanne and others talk about the carb lover and the stress lover, the stress eater, I can fit into all categories except maybe fat, because I can eat pasta without the sauce. I like it that much. I can eat bread without the butter. I like it that much. But I know that Deidre knows my eating habits very well, because I'm a I suffer from incredible stress. And I feel like just listening to you makes everything feel better. And the baby steps. And I agree with you that we have to reward all wins, big or small. We have to remember that we are more than enough. It's not about how much weight we lose. It's about how healthy we can be. It's more about, taking care of ourselves so we can live longer, longevity, and do the things. And I know that there's a lot of customers on here tonight who are customers who are invited by other people. And I've seen a lot of their messages, and on Facebook as well. I scan it as we're on this all the time. I constantly look at it. I can't stress enough, like Dr. Deidre said, Axe is incredible. I know that some people said, well, it's back ordered, it's coming in any moment. Make sure you get your hands on it, because it's that good. I really do feel like something's happened when it comes to, she talks about how important sleep is, and we're going to wrap up because these are going to be my final comments, but sleep is critical. And I was the worst sleeper. Everybody knows I slept 3 or 4 hours at night. I took a 15 to 20 minute nap every day. I haven't taken a nap since I've started TLS. I haven't needed to, because I'm not eating the carbs that drag me down, even though I needed the nap because I wasn't sleeping. I'm sleeping better than I've ever slept. You can ask Andrew. Couple of mornings I woke up at 10:45 on the weekend. I was traumatized, but I deserved it. And JR, I think, shut all the blinds in the door so it could be extra dark. And I can't believe I did it. And so I think it's all about, like I said, prioritizing your life and yourself, something that we often don't do. And it's interesting how I think it was Suzanne or Deidre who were talking about what men grab for and what women grab for. We grab for different things. We are different people, men are from Mars or women are from Venus. And I've wholeheartedly believed that. And I really do feel for the first time in your life, you have to put yourself first. We're moving into an age of 2021. We're dealing with a pandemic. Nobody ever expected to be dealing with this. Nobody ever expected 9 months later, 10 months later, that we're still in it. Okay, so here's the thing. You have to be good for yourself. You have to be good to yourself. You have to prioritize, you have to plan, you have to prepare to see those pounds come off. And that is what will happen. Those are the good things that you're going to get out of this. I highly recommend not selling you. I'm telling you, I am not selling you. I am telling you how important the supplements are. They have literally made this so much easier for me and others. And if you read their comments, I know that so many people agree. If it wasn't for the supplements, I think it would have been a hell of a lot harder on me than it's been. I'm really proud of all the people who are on here commenting and saying how much weight they lost. And somebody said, well, I only lost 4 pounds. Cheer you on. Yes, that's the start. 4 pounds is everything. That's where we begin, right? I was just 4 or 5 pounds in my first week. I'm 10 pounds now, 10 and a half, now. So you have to cheer yourself on every time you have a win. Like Dennis said, 1 pound this week, great. Cheer you on. Every win, small or big, is still a win. And it's time to celebrate yourself. It's time to be good to yourself. And like somebody just said here, Joanne said, I only lost 2 pounds, but you know what? It's about, you're on your way. And that's how you get there. You have to, it's the first step, you know, as we always say in our business, even if you tiptoe to success, you have to make the step. You have to take small steps to get there. And that's what the 28 days are about. That's what it's all about, is taking 28 days to success for your weight loss goals, your health goals, whatever it is. We're really proud of so many of you, so grateful for listening to my colleagues who I listen to all the time, but I always feel like, Deidre, you're always talking to me, and I appreciate you for that. And I love you for that. And Suzanne, I've learned so much about you. Dennis, I'm even love you more if that's possible. I just think it's great. And Melanie and I have gotten really close through this process. And I think that Andrew and I have really realized how powerful this program is by literally sitting on. That's why I won't disconnect from these calls. I'm not here about sharing my success. I'm here to share your success and learn, because there's a lot that we all need to learn, right? We don't know everything. And by the way, when you know everything, well, then you shouldn't be on here, because we don't. We're still growing. So we love you and grateful. And what do we have next after tonight? Tomorrow night, Dennis, right?
Well, tomorrow is Tone Up Thursday, and I'll be checking up on our exercise, our daily exercise and our homework assignment, but getting ready for your next week's homework assignment and give you a little bit more insight.
Yeah, 11 a.m. with Dennis Franks. That's East Coast time on our official TLS weight loss Facebook page. I'll be on at 11. You won't want to miss this one on Friday. I've got two very special guests on the line. You don't want to miss this one. It's going to be great. And then we have some great stuff being shared on the weekend. We'll have some new recipes for you guys on Sunday with a new ingredient list. And then we start with Monday with Suzanne again with her powerful Mindful Mondays. So, and then we'll see all guys back here for Wednesday. I'll be back on Tuesday. We just keep doing this for another, you know, we're halfway through, you guys. And if you're just joining us and you're starting now, fantastic. It doesn't matter. You're starting your 28 days, whenever you're starting your 28 days. So you guys,
the challenge of the process is the hardest part, guys. So make this fun. I can't imagine how people really do this by just going into a place and weighing in. I couldn't imagine myself doing that anywhere, even if there were not times of COVID. I couldn't imagine doing this without a partner when I work out, or listening to other people's success. I don't know how people succeed doing this, because you know, losing weight can be tough, right? Because of all of the things that we learn tonight. So enjoy the process. It's hard to do that when you're trying to do something like this, but when you're with other people, enjoy the process. That's the only way to get the result.
Yeah, that's right.
Amen. God bless all of you guys. Happy Wednesday.
Bye, everyone.